mind. No, I have started recording.
No, we don't mind, teacher.
I've started recording because this might be a useful lesson for everyone, even for the people who are not present during the lesson now. You know that for the Scholars Cup, there are four different team events. The Scholars Bowl and the Scholars Challenge are connected to the curriculum that we studied. So you know that we've spent a lot of lessons talking about science and technology, art and music, literature and media, and all those things. So you will get the questions from for these. That's where you will get the questions for these two disciplines, for these two team events. There are multiple choice quizzes. The Scholars Challenge is done individually. The where is it? The Scholars Bowl is something that you need to do as a team with a clicker. I will go through the team events in more detail some other time because today we're going to focus on something else. You already know about the team debate, that you will have debates in teams of three. Last time we had uh, in a way like a showcase where uh, Marco, Adea, and I were in the affirmative team, and we had Nicola, Sara, and David in the negative team. I think that they won quite deservedly. Most of you voted for them, which was something that made me very happy. One thing that we haven't talked about though is the collaborative writing. And it is something that deserves a lot of attention because of how much potential you have. Now, personally, I think that you have the edge over other people because all our lessons are in English. So you do speak English on a very high level, but you need to be able to organize those ideas properly. I will just read the very basic introduction to this team event, and I will elaborate in more detail about what we will be doing today. So, uh, uh, because you are in a team of three, hopefully the local round will take place in the school premises, which means that everyone will be present there. Hopefully, if the situation is better. If it's not, then I suppose that the worst case scenario will be to take place online. You will be given six different prompts or six different topics for writing. The thing is that two people cannot choose the same prompt, which means that three of them will be chosen, three of them will be left out. Um, at first, you will have some time to prepare together. This event usually lasts for an hour and a half, even. So at first, you will have time to brainstorm, to in a way help each other how to set up the text, and then you will have some time to write your own thing. I'm not saying essay because you're not supposed to write only an essay. And then once you finish writing it, you will have one last chance to just get together again and see if everything is okay. The instructions over here read: whether you craft a poem or compose a 5 paragraph essay, make sure your work excites and challenges you because that means it will excite and challenge your reader too. So, whatever you decide to write should be written well. For the eighth and ninth graders, I have no doubt that they'll do well because the last thing that we studied with both generations is the essay, and they've had more experience than the others in writing essays. The good thing is that an essay provides a lot of a really good opportunity for you to organize your ideas properly, and it gives you an opportunity to get the right tone according to the question that you're given. However, an essay is not the only piece of writing that you can submit. I think that last year there were a lot of successful entries by people who had written stories, and probably I'm not trying to underestimate anyone, but probably for the fifth and sixth graders, a story would be the right way to go. It's a bit easier to write than essay. However, there is one more thing that you could write, and this is something that most people don't really appreciate. I don't know what the problem is. I think that it's a problem on a global scale, and I know it sounds weird that I haven't suggested what it is, but I can't really just point to it because it is. I would like to give you an example. Now, I would like you guys, everyone, to close your eyes. I will give you two options. And once I
Only
say
guys?
everyone, no, no, when I say guys, I mean the girls as well. But it's very important that you visualize this. It's very important that you imagine what I'm going to say. I'm going to give you two options. I'll read the first one, and then I'll read the second one. And I would like you, after that, I will ask you which one you like better. Okay? So I know it sounds weird. Maybe there are family members around you. We don't care about that. Just close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Now, I would like you to imagine your house or flat, whatever. Imagine your home from the outside, as if you're standing on the street. Can you imagine it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
Okay. Now,
I can.
yeah, easily.
now, I want you to imagine your home being disassembled brick by brick. So it's being torn apart brick by brick, very meticulously, part by part. Can you imagine
But
that?
teacher, ima kako.
Yeah.
What?
So just
What?
imagine. Stop speaking.
There's a layer, teacher. There's an outer layer, so I.
Teacher, I keep trying to imagine. My eyes are still closed.
Okay.
I don't
Victor,
think anyone can imagine
there are
this.
a lot of layers. It's fine. Just imagine all the layers being stripped down. So all of the layers, brick by brick, layer by layer, everything is torn apart. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I can.
Well, how? There's no way.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but teacher, it's like because I know it's that process is so long. It starts repeating itself. When I go like
Okay.
to
good,
the
good,
fifth, when I go to the fifth like
good. Layer.
brick,
Yes.
it starts again from the.
Wonderful. Even better. Okay. Okay.
Y'all need to use your imagination.
Okay. Now I would like
Yeah.
to suggest. I would like to suggest another point. Close your eyes again. Focus. Now I would like you to imagine your house rebuilt. So it is your authentic home, house, flat, whatever, wherever you live. Imagine it that way.
I imagine it, but teacher, like the bricks are falling from the sky like rain, and they're just
I like that.
they're
But
landing
imagine it-
on the house.
No, Victor, listen up. Imagine it as a whole. It's untouched. It's pristine. It's pure. So now I want you to imagine your house being blown up with dynamite. Imagine your house
What?
being blown up with dynamite.
Kind of.
Teacher, I
not
can't imagine my house being blown up. I just
Do it.
like
teacher could eat my
teacher, from
house.
my perspective, I'm going
Yeah.
up in the air. And there's just an explosion.
Teacher, I
Teacher,
hope this never
teacher.
ever happens, but if my house is like, if my flat is
Can
torn
everyone
by...
watch?
Teacher,
like,
the only
full
thing
of
I can
dynamite,
imagine right
the whole
now,
building
with
is going
what I'm
down.
seeing, is
the
I
whole
can
building
imagine
is
my
going down.
house with dynamite in it, but not exploded.
No,
Teacher,
wait,
I
just a
can't
second.
imagine the house with dynamite in
can
it,
we
but I
just-
can imagine it like.
Good. Can we just agree to have some order, because if more people are talking at the same time, it's really difficult for the listeners. So just raise your hand if there's something that you want to say in on the screen. So as I said one more time, imagine that there's dynamite under your house and it gets blown up. Just imagine that. You don't have to speak about it. Just imagine it, because the more you speak, the more you defocus people. So the more you distract people. I mean. Okay, good. Okay, let's see this. I will ask everyone which one they prefer. Victor, I'll go with you. Which option would you choose? Your house being disassembled brick by brick, or being blown up with dynamite?
Brick by brick?
Brick by brick. Let me just write it down over here. Okay. Next one is Bodan. Bodan,
Yes, I don't know, teacher.
you don't know.
Break by
Doncho?
break, probably.
Okay. Doncho?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Okay, Nikola Pekov?
Teacher, just to clarify, there's no one inside, right?
There's no one inside now.
Yeah, let us blow up.
Let it blow up. Adele?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Okay. Marco Papic?
If there's no one inside and no one is getting hurt, dynamite.
Okay, there.
Probably brick by brick.
By brick. Sarah, Toshik,
Dynamite.
dynamite. Frosina,
Can you say it again? You all glitched.
would you have your house disassembled brick by brick or blown up with dynamite?
Dynamite.
Dynamite, okay. By the way, all of this will make sense when I tell you what we're doing. Konstantin,
Dynamite.
dynamite. Shkurte, brick by brick or dynamite? Think about it. Davut,
Dynamite.
dynamite. David,
Dynamite.
dynamite. Irem,
Teacher, why
Dynamite.
you're grinning?
I'm so happy about this. Irem,
Dynamite.
dynamite. Uma, brick by brick or dynamite?
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. Lara,
Dynamite.
dynamite. Okay. Two more. Anna, Anna. There's only one Anna. Tokarevo. I need an answer. Brick by brick or dynamite? We can't hear you. Maybe there's a...
You me now?
I can hear you now. Which one would you choose?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Okay. And Neviska, you're the last one. Would you choose brick by brick or dynamite?
Dynamite.
Dynamite. Okay. I'd like to ask one person before we move on to the details. David, I'll ask you. Why would you choose dynamite? Can you explain it?
I chose it because I couldn't, like, in a way, it's more painful if the band-aid is ripped off slower.
Okay, that's a very interesting way to put it. Okay, and what Victor said was quite nice because he said that the process keeps repeating, and you can all agree that when the house is being disassembled brick by brick, it lasts longer, right?
Yeah.
And the dynamite is just one instant. It's just one instance. It just goes, right? Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you chose your house being disassembled brick by brick, prose is for you. Stories are for you. If you chose your house being blown up with dynamite, poetry is probably more appropriate for you. This is a very interesting way to represent the difference between prose and poetry. It is something that you study in your mother tongue classes. For example, I know that in Macedonian you study prose works and you also study poetry. I feel, that's my personal opinion, I don't know if you would agree with me, it feels that a lot of people your age don't like poetry because they find it to be very old-fashioned and they find it to be about topics that they don't really care about. It's always about great heroes who lost their life on the battlefield and their horse died and there was blood and the sun shone and everything. And I think that that's why people don't find it cool. So I would like you to focus on the difference between prose and poetry between these two, based on these two ideas of your house being disassembled brick by brick, which is a very slow process, is very methodical, and you focus on every individual thing. And poetry is like your house being blown up with dynamite because it's just one instance and it's very, very quick and it is very powerful. So basically what I'm trying to say is that, wait, Yana just came. Let me ask her. Hello, Yana.
Yep.
Very quick question.
Yep.
I need you to imagine something. Close your eyes very quickly.
Okay.
I want you to imagine your house from the outside. Imagine it as if you're standing on the street.
Okay.
Okay, can you imagine it being disassembled brick by brick?
Why?
All of it. Just imagine the strips the layers getting stripped down, and the bricks being disassembled brick by brick. So everything is done.
Okay, I did that. Okay.
Okay. Now, I want you to imagine the house rebuilt. So it's
Yeah.
it's authentic, it's a natural state. Now, I want you to imagine that there is dynamite in the foundations, and I want you to imagine it as blown up with the dynamite.
Okay.
Which one do you like better? There's no one inside the house.
The one that's like built down brick by brick, or the one that's blown up by
Yes.
dynamite?
Yes, which one?
The one that's built down brick by brick.
Interesting. I thought you were going to say the other one.
Why?
Reasons. So
Well, come on,
what
say it.
we're what we're talking about this lesson is about the collaborative writing challenge, where people are supposed to choose one out of 6 prompts and to write something. And you 8th graders and 9th graders already have a lot of experience with writing essays, so that's a very safe that's a very safe way to go. And these guys that are over here won they won a golden medal for writing on the Olympia, which means that they're already very good. What I was trying to suggest is that you're not limited to only writing an essay. You can write prose or you can write poetry. Prose meaning stories. And Yana, I just explained to the others that if you imagine and if you prefer your house being disassembled brick by brick, that probably stories or prose is more appropriate to your style of thinking and writing. And if you imagine your house blown up with dynamite and you like it, probably poetry is the way to go. Now, I would like to just focus. There's a lot to say over here. There are people who write MAs and PhDs on this topic. So I'm just going to focus on the most basic differences. As stated over here, with prose, the writing structure includes sentences, paragraphs, and chapters. And what's unique about prose, about a story, is the quality that within the text there is a theme, mood, point of view, plot, setting, and characters. How do I connect this to the house being disassembled brick by brick? So if I ask you to write a story about it, you would probably say that you would explain that, and the flower pot standing on the this is my flower pot, by the way. The flower pots on the table fell on the ground, and they were slowly taken up. They were slowly packed into boxes to be taken to the new place. And all my childhood memories, the photos were getting taken off the wall while we were listening to the radio. Right? It's a very long sentence which is supposed to create the mood. So it is focused on a certain feeling, but you also focus on the setting and the characters. So if you were talking about your house being disassembled brick by brick, you would imagine your parents in the kitchen, like packing things up, and you would explain what they were wearing, like my mom wearing her wonderful, beautiful dress, which she's had for over 20 years, but means so much to her because her grandmother gave it to her. Well, it's quite long, and it works. Both of these work, don't get me wrong. And in terms of the flow, it has a very natural flow of speech. So it's like you are telling a story. On the other hand, poetry is about a bit different, because I suppose it was much easier for you to imagine your house being blown up with dynamite than it being disassembled brick by brick. I'm not saying that you liked it better, but you could imagine the explosion. Maybe you could imagine some souvenirs or some possessions just flying in the air. Victor said that he could imagine the bricks like falling down like rain. So poetry is more about images and the rhythm. Uh, Nowadays, most of the poets don't really write poems following a very strict pattern or rhymes or meter. They don't count their words like this is this long and this is this long and this rhymes with this and that. People don't usually do that, but instead of long sentences, there are usually verses and there are stanzas. There aren't any long paragraphs like 300 words long, but usually there's like 8 lines because they're focused on the image. So poetry, in a way, offers an artistic way to present emotions and events. And there are certain things that people do, and the purpose of writing poetry is, in a way, to arouse some kind of emotion. It's not just focused on the description, but it's more about a powerful emotion. And there are 2 things how you can achieve that. There are certain things. This is called alliteration. I don't know if you guys have studied this in your mother tongue lessons. Alliteration refers to the same letter being repeated in the same line. Like this example over here. Sweet birds sang. So it's s. Sweet birds sang. Can we try to give another example? Can anyone think of a phrase? Like blue, I don't know, blue big birds. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but blue big bricks. Let's say that your house is made out of blue big bricks. That's the point. People who write poetry really focus on these things, although these are characteristics or techniques that could be used in prose as well. And they often use metaphors to find a creative way to express something that's quite ordinary. Instead of just saying the lake was calm, you can say the calm lake was a mirror. So you compare it to another object. Or you could, whenever we say that someone is not well accepted in their family, we say he's the black sheep in the family. Why would we have to express it as him being the black sheep? It's because we can visualize it. We can imagine a herd, a flock of sheep. All of them are white, and there's one thing that stands out. It makes it a bit more powerful. Now, I would like us, we have about 20 more minutes. I would like us to do something quite challenging, but as I said, we need to do it in a very orderly fashion. If someone has an idea, then you need to raise your hand. Otherwise, it will get really messy. So, because there are more people who went for the house being blown up with dynamite, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Yana?
What was the question after you made me imagine them? Like, which one would I want to see more, or which one could I imagine better?
It wasn't about that. It was about which one felt more natural, which one felt better to you. Because you can connect it to the image of writing poetry or writing prose.
I mean, I guess that I would be really confused if I see a building being broken down brick by brick. So more natural, I would say the explosion one. But I don't know.
Both of them are perfectly fine. Both of them are perfectly
yeah,
fine.
no, I get it, but I can't. Like when I imagine a building being broken down brick by brick, I would just be like, why are they doing it this way when they can just blow it up? So I guess more natural would be the one with the dynamite, but I don't think I understood the question right.
Yeah.
At first.
My point is that this year's theme is a world renewed. So this is something that's on the other side of the axis. We're going to talk about not renewal, but destruction in a way. Because I think that it will be a bit more apparent and it will be easier for us to write something. I think that this is what we should do to demonstrate. I'm going to raise this part about the prose. We don't care about it now. So we are going to write a short poem about house blown up by dynamite. So I'm going to start the poem like this. The day I blew up my house with dynamite. So we're going to try to write a poem, which is going to focus on this idea. And as I said, we should try to be creative. We should try to use interesting vocabulary, try to use interesting adjectives, and these 2 things, alliteration and metaphors. If you have any ideas, please let me know and I will finish the next line. We don't have to make it rhyme. as I said. If you can get it to rhyme, that would be great because it shows how much effort you've put in. But we don't have to do it. Just raise your hand. So let's see. The day I blew up my house with dynamite, what happened? Give me an image. What happens?
Well, teacher, the only rhyme I can think of is kryptonite.
Okay. How are we going to use kryptonite?
I don't know, like,
The day I blew up
Can I
my
ask
house.
something? What's kryptonite?
Kryptonite is Superman's greatest weakness. It's
Yeah.
the green
So something-
the green mineral which causes him to lose all his powers.
yeah, something
Yes,
about
yeah.
that.
So the day
But
I
think
blew
we
up
can
my
make,
house
like,
with
a
dynamite.
rhyme to do. Well, let's think about like about something else, cause
I felt
yeah,
I
kryptonite,
faced
dynamite.
my
that's
own
really-
personal
Kryptonite.
kryptonite. So the day I blew up my
Yeah.
house with the dynamite, I faced my own personal kryptonite. Then give me. I told you poetry is focused on images. Give me an image. If you see your house being blown up, what do you see in the air? What does the scene look like?
Everything being all the parts
Yeah.
flying out
Just a
everywhere.
second. Just a second. Raise your hands. Nicola was speaking. Nicola.
So I would imagine every part like a lot of it being a lot of parts like bricks, not brick by brick, but bigger bricks flying everywhere. There's like an aftershock.
Okay, we can use brick by brick over here. Brick by brick. What? Or we could say
Part by part.
brick by brick, part after part, something like this, maybe part by part.
Yeah.
Brick after no, brick after brick, part after part. What do they do, Nicola?
They fly everywhere. Sort of
What flies everywhere?
brick after brick.
Give me a
part-
metaphor.
Bricks.
Let's make it a bit more personal.
Then the parts.
Ah,
Let's make it a bit more personal.
personal.
My house was broken apart.
It's not just broken apart. It's
Blown
Yeah.
up.
What if you changed house with home?
Yeah.
brick after brick, part after part. Memories
house is
turn.
broken.
house was blown up.
Memories
My house is blown up in the
scatter
dark.
like confetti. Can we say this?
Probably.
Because it's a nice image. That's what I'm trying to say. If you say that the memories were scattered like confetti, imagine that the place where the foundation of the foundations of the house were now are filled with memories, and it's falling like rain. Adele, you have a question or an idea?
The blue skies fade away, maybe?
The blue skies faded away, and
And my feelings, something like that.
something with feelings. Okay, let's see. What could we say about feelings? Covered by my feelings. Can we say that? Maybe. Can you give me an image? What do the feelings on the blue sky look like? What color are they?
Gray or black.
Gray or black? Gray and black. What? What do the feelings look like? Are they separate or are they one unity? Sarah,
They're together.
they're
Everything
together.
just
So what do they look
mixed up.
like? Imagine the feelings on the sky as one unity.
Okay.
What is it? What does it look like?
Gray and black painting.
It's a painting. Okay, a gray and black painting of what? Get this right, please.
Of a
Gray and black painting of emotions.
Of emotions. I need something else because we have feelings before that. Something else. Come on. What if that? So you've spent your whole life there in that house. It gets blown up, and
I have
all the
Actually did.
feelings. Just a second. All the feelings stick to the sky and they cover it. What can you see on the sky? What is it?
Oh wait, I forgot the word. Like a roof. What was it called?
Ceiling?
What?
Ceiling? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. I forgot the word.
Painting of a ceiling? I would let me help you
No.
with this one.
Teacher? Teacher?
Yes.
Painting of a broken nest.
Of a oh, I like that. Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
I like
yes.
One
that.
So
question.
let's see what we have so far. Nicola, you're next. So the
No,
day
I'm
I
asking a
blew up my
question.
house, just a second. The day I blew up my house with dynamite, I faced my own personal kryptonite. Brick after brick, part after part, memories scattered like confetti. The blue skies faded away, covered by my feelings. A gray and black painting of a broken nest.
I have a question, teacher, for painting. Wasn't there another word beginning on C or something? I think.
Sure, I have just one.
I'll find it now.
Marco?
I think that we can change one thing where it says, but I don't know if it's or like where it says memory scattered like confetti. I would say like memory scattered and thrown apart so it can rhyme.
Where would we? Ah, okay,
Yeah.
all right. Like
I would say
confetti,
that.
like confetti.
No, just memory scattered and thrown apart without the confetti part.
Torn apart or thrown apart?
Thrown, like, yeah.
Cannot rhyme the same word.
Apart and part would rhyme. It would be okay. But I'd like to use
But-
confetti. Let's use the confetti after this.
Yeah, okay.
Can we just try to, let's see, because there is a website which allows you to rhyme, rhyme zone.
Yeah, I used that one. Yes, rhyme zone.
Yeah, it's very good for. So if we try to find nest, let's see what we can get.
Breast, probably.
Best, blessed,
Chest.
chest.
Depressed. Where is it? I don't see it.
Okay,
Teacher,
good.
I found the word. I think it was canvas.
Oh, canvas. Ah, right. Canvas is a good one. But canvas is the empty thing. It's not a painting. Is the drawn thing.
Okay.
So maybe we could do this. Memories scattered and thrown apart. Okay, the blue skies faded away, covered by my. By the open chest. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
No,
No, it doesn't sound nice.
doesn't
No,
sound
no.
right.
It was better with feelings.
Yeah, but you get the point.
Then you can write feelings, a gray and broken nest, and now something with ceilings. Because it rhymes. And it was
Feels like my heart is being ripped out of my chest or something.
Oh, nest. Okay. Feels like my heart is ripped from my chest. Okay, I like this. We would add. Oh, we have less than 1 minute. Can you please rejoin for 5 more minutes just to complete the poem and you can go?
Yeah.